Okay, so thank you so much for being with us today for this second group educational session organized by Fertility Friends Foundation as part of the support program to our grant recipients. We're very happy to see you there. And first of all, thank you so much, Michelle, for accepting to be one of our speakers this time around. And more than that, to be also one of the person who revamped our program and came up with this idea of organizing group sessions. Thank you for your time and everything you did in the past few weeks. We really appreciate it. So would you like to start introducing you a bit more and maybe what we're going to talk about today?
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the introduction. It's really nice to be here and chat with everyone. I do a lot of speaking, so I like to keep things super casual. So what I'll do today is talk a little bit through 3 tactics that I feel really passionate about in terms of supporting pregnancy outcomes. And I'll do my best to be thorough with them while keeping it as simple as possible. And then at the end, if there's any questions you have about anything nutrition, fertility related, happy to jump in. If it's medical, that's not me. And if it's specific to blood work or anything like that, then that's probably your doctor or your naturopathic doctor or a private message to me at another point. So yeah, if you have any questions along the way, just, I don't know, pop them in the chat and me and Isabel can do our best to moderate that as much as we can. I do have a little simple PowerPoint just to kind of use as a speaking note. So you have it in front of you. So I'm going to pop that into the screen now. Okay. Everyone can see?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So
yes.
I want to talk a little bit about like where I sort of started and why I got into this first. So 2015, I got married and, I decided, this is as good a time as any to start my family. And it was, 6-8 months, a year later, realizing that, things are not going as I expected. Started to visit a fertility clinic and went through lots of ultrasounds and blood work and needles and everything that you all have probably experienced. Went through multiple IUIs, went through an IVF cycle that ended in a missed ectopic pregnancy, and I landed in the hospital for emergency life-saving surgery. And it was after this experience of almost dying, where they removed over 6 liters of blood from my body and said, if you had not come in right now, you would not have survived this, that I was like, I cannot do this anymore. This is not for me. Something's got to give. And so for myself, this took me stepping back from the process and really evaluating what I was doing, where I was going, what I wanted to do, and really kind of honing in on the areas of my life that could change to support my chance of pregnancy naturally. Now I only had 1 tube, so I wasn't sure what that would look like, but my goal was just to, step back and look at things a little bit more, holistically. And I've been a nutritionist my entire professional career. I'm in my 16th year of practice and had a very busy practice prior to this journey. And once I went through my own fertility journey, started working specifically only with women who were trying to get pregnant. And so it was during that kind of post-ectopic situation that I realized that there were some gaps in my journey. And once I filled those gaps, I was actually pregnant 5 weeks later with my daughter, who just turned 5 in June. So what I'm trying to say is that everyone's journey is different. There's no one size fits all. And I think what I wanted to start with today is that there are gaps in everybody's journey. And I think that we all need to look very, very critically at our lives, what we eat, what we do, what we think, how we poop, our stress, our activity levels, and there's always gaps, what our blood work is saying. So I just wanted to start with that and lead with the fact that there's so much that can be done. And if you look hard enough, you'll find it. Today's conversation is about 3 things that the evidence is showing that will support everybody. So you don't have to look at today's conversation and be like, is this right for me or not? Because these tactics will be right for you. And if you're doing some of them, great. If you're not doing any of them, well, hopefully today is like a great segue into inspiring you to make some changes. They are not tactics that you probably haven't heard about before necessarily, but I think where the power in them comes from is the why. And when you know why they're important, you're more likely to do them. And that was the story for me. When I realized the why of my blind spots, they clicked for me. Okay, so that's why I need to be doing X, Y, and Z. And when I did it, like I said, I was pregnant. So that was my journey. So I'm hoping that these tactics are helpful for you and making you see the why they are important and the how you can kind of start to implement them. So tactic number 1 is we're going to be really ramping up the use of antioxidants in your diet. You can get supplementation that have antioxidants in them for sure. This is, there's lots of great companies that have that, but nutritionally, this is where I want to focus our time. So why though? Okay, so antioxidants basically are compounds in foods that mitigate internal resting, if you will, or oxidative stress in the body. So oxidative stress occurs when there's an imbalance between the production of ROS, which I'll talk about in a second, and the ability of the body to neutralize these toxic products. Okay, so ROS are so reactive oxygenated species, is ROS, are byproducts of cellular oxidative metabolism. So think about like exercising or digestion. These are all metabolism inducing activities. And as a result of these, ROS is produced. So if there's more ROS compared to what your body can neutralize, then we get too much of this oxidation in the body. And so antioxidants come and neutralize this oxidation. So I like to think about oxidation like internal resting. And so the problem with a lot of the internal resting is that it impacts things like cell signaling and the ability for cells to survive, and it impacts inflammation. It's very widespread and wide-reaching how this inflammation or this oxidative damage can impact our bodies, our health, and our fertility. So by improving our oxidative balance or our oxidative load in our body, we're actually going to support better sperm health and better egg health and overall better pregnancy and live birth rates. So there's some great studies that show this, that increased intake of antioxidants improves pregnancy and live birth rates. So that's what I want you to walk away with. Okay, it makes a big difference. This is from the Journal of Fertility and Sterility. And so there is evidence that oxidative stress, which I just talked to you about, plays an important role in male and female subfertility. So antioxidants could be an inexpensive treatment or an adjunct to reproductive techniques such as IVF and ICSI, okay, to improve these fertility outcomes. So this is not like new stuff. This is in the literature. And it's something that when I work with clients, it is one of the first conversations outside of diving into their blood work that we talk about, is we got to ramp up the antioxidants. So